Yo, I'm going to show you how to make a Neuro bass reese that sounds like this. Yeah, so basically, all this stuff can go for a minute. Right, so I'm going to basically just disassemble the patch and then I'm going to run through it all methodically as possible. So what I've got here is a smooth square. It's one of the massive waveforms. Got it made basically a square. You might as well pick a square. I've got it 4 unison, slightly detuned, about was 0.06, and then there's a blend of about 75. And then it's FM'd from B, which is here. The level's turned all the way down, so it's not playing through the oscillator B, but it's going through A. And then that's again 4 unison, 0.04 detune, 75 blend. They're both taking an octave down, and they're both finely detuned in 11 cents. So this one's negative 11 cents, that one's plus 11 cents. I've got one LFO here going on an 8th dots, so it's a dotted 8th. And then that's connected to the cutoff here, which is just sort of when this smooth automation's put down, so that becomes 0 smoothness. It'll activate the LFO over time, and then it'll sort of affect the cutoff. Then I've got a distortion that's plugged, that's here. It's on diode 1, drive all the way up, mix all the way up. It's set to pre-effects, and then I've got a low pass running, just cutting off some of the high-end distortion because it makes it a bit too distorted. Following that, I've got some automation here that's just running, just to sort of build tension there, here and there, like this bit here. Got this compressor, basically just compressing it, nothing crazy. 3.6 ratio over 1. Attacks 2 milliseconds, release 50 milliseconds, and I've got about minus 13 dB on the threshold. Following that, got a compressor doing side chaining, and this is connected to the kicks and snares here. I've got them in chains, so it's easy to separate the kicks and snares from the cymbals. So just connected to the kick and snare. Following that, I've got 0.33 milliseconds of attack. That changes after the build up, because in the build up I want the attack to be softer so that it takes a bit more time to react to the kick. Just makes it sort of tighten up in the drop, I guess. The release is about 79.6, so that's just the amount of time it takes for the bass to come back after the kick's been played. So it just sounds like it's fighting with the kick and the drum, the kick snare, but not. It's sort of they're contesting for space. So I'm just basically, this is how you get space. But I'll explain that in another time. Then the threshold slightly changes as well. So about here it's 15 dB, minus 15 dB. There it's about minus 25. That's just so that it reacts more to the kick and the snare when it gets the drop. Following on from that, I've got some saturation here. It's 2.8 drive. It's on a soft sine, so it's not crazy, but it's on about 28% dry wet, and I've took the output down quite a bit because it was coming through kind of hot. But yeah, that's basically just adding some extra nice harmonics in there instead of what distortion would add, where it adds it adds uneven harmonics. It basically just makes it sound dissonant as well as distorted. So the saturated would make it sound it would be basically in the same note as the note is, that just adds a bit more warmth as well. And then I've just got an EQ doing some basic filtering. Got the low end cut out up to about 100 Hz. Got a little boost there for some reason, but that must just be to do with this track. Tiny bit of high end cut off, about 19.6, but these filters change, so here it's, you know, 2K. It's about 2K, and then it goes down to just under 1, back up to 6, just to tease it a little bit more, and then in the drop it comes all the way open. And then here there's a little bit of low end being cut out as it leads into different sections, just to sort of build a bit more tension. And that's basically it. I might have gone through a little bit quick there, but I hope that it helps somewhat, and I hope you found some useful tipperoonies in there. Yeah, like I said about the earlier, just the last thing, the smoothness on this LFO actually only comes in when the LFO only comes in when I lower the smoothness. So as you can hear here, it's like constant, and then when this sort of automates downwards, it brings the LFO in, which filters the cutoff, which modulates the cutoff. So sorry about jumping about there. You get the gist. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing a lot more tutorials in the future, but it'd be nice to know if you have any suggestions for future videos. Let me know. I'll also put all my music stuff in the description below, so you can check out my music, and if you hear anything that you want to learn about, then you're welcome to. As well as that, obviously DJP Coaching, I do tutorials, I do one-to-one sessions based on people's wants and needs. So if you want to make it's not like an academic thing where you get to a curriculum or a criteria that you have to fill. This is literally just what you want to learn and what I think that you could learn, that will help further your musical skills and hopefully your career as well. So I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Adios.